Hello, a bit of a tech review this one, although it's kind of tech, kind of non-tech if you like. A sort of tech and design aesthetic applied to sort of older stuff. And I'm talking about a company called HoTo Tools. They are making tools, and I have to say, when they contacted me, I had a look at their website and they look just gorgeous. Having this beautiful aesthetic as well as functionality in their tools just looks fantastic. Let me show you what I got. We've got this cordless rechargeable drill with a brushless motor. It's won a design award. I'll show you why. I have to say, opening them, and I've opened this one already, feels a bit like having an Apple product. It's just a great pleasure of unboxing them and opening up the box and see where it takes you. We'll have a look at that. We've also got this. This is a combination vacuum and blower, and I thought that'd be really handy for when I'm trying to clean my 3D printer down there, and it gets those little bits of filament that sort of fall down as it's going. Trying to get those out is tricky, and I thought that'd be good. When I'm crashing a drone into the grass and it all dries off, being able to blow that off, being able to inflate stuff, vacuum little bits off. We'll take a look at this. And then we've got this guy here. This is a screwdriver set, quite unlike anything you've ever seen before. Yes, I am fanboying a little bit about the design aesthetic over these, but we should check them out and see how they actually work as well, because it's not much good them looking pretty if they're not very functional. So yeah, let's go and unbox these and see what they've got inside. Okay, let's start with the big boy. This is the drill. Sadly got a little bit squished in the post there, but no big deal. It's a pretty tough box. So if we get this little manual, and then what we get here is this. I can't tell you how good that feels. It's like you could make an ASMR video for it. Then in here you have this rather beautiful stuff. That one's supposed to go there, and it's literally got the instructions for how to use it written here. This is the drill itself. We've got a few bits to remove. You can also see we have a selection of drill bits, both for masonry and wood. Got a USB-C charge cable, and we've got some screwdriver bits, because this has a screwdriver mode as well. The actual drill itself, which looks a little bit like a hairdryer. Reverse, and you've got forwards there. You've got speed here, and it's controlled by this thing as well. So if I just hold it a bit, it goes slow, and it goes all the way up to 30, which is very, very quick indeed. It's got the screwdriver setting here, which is obviously much slower. So I'll just wind that back down again. And this button is for a pulse mode. It's sort of this thing means as well it's locked to the direction. I'm not quite sure the proper function of that, but that's what it is. You go reverse, charge port there. Pretty simple. Loosen up that way. Drill bit goes in. Ready to go. All looks good. I'll be testing that out properly soon. On the other side, you'd think pretty basic tools, but again, design wise, these are absolutely gorgeous. The fact this tape measure has this one simple button there, and it's just so smooth, is just beautiful. Sprung pliers, these work as cable strippers as well. Adjustable wrench. Screwdriver, which should, I presume, yep, take the guys from there. Look at this hammer. It kind of looks like it's almost an ice axe, and it's got something very interesting in it here. It's got this little groove where you can stick a nail in to enable you to basically bash it in without having to hold it. You just put it in there, hit it. I'll be taking a look at that later. This thing here is actually a rubber hammer cap. I don't know if the idea there it acts like a rubber mallet type thing or what, but there's something extra there. And yeah, this locking mechanism Maybe that's where the design award came in. It's something quite beautiful. It just goes in like that. And you're good to go. Next is the vacuum blower thing. I'm sure it's got a proper name. Compressed air capsule, it's calling itself. Some instructions. A little bit of unboxing to do here. Okay, so this is what's in the box. You've got the main unit itself. This is if you're vacuuming. This is like the sort of filter that sits on the end and catches the dust. These bits are all for inflating. That is like if you've got one of those vacuum bag things, it goes in there and you've got different things there. And this one is sort of your vacuuming type equipment. So, should we want to do some vacuum cleaning, we place this on the inlet. This locks into place like so. We can then, if we want to, add on something like this, and then if we press on, that's pretty powerful. And the reverse of that is, of course, we have a sort of blower device, which is pretty powerful. I think that's going to be really good for cleaning stuff off when it's got like grass and stuff in it. Anyway, that's that one. Finally, the screwdriver set. Now, we had a screwdriver in the drill set and we had a screwdriver setting for the drill set. But this set is its own sort of thing, if you like. There's obviously a bit of crossover, but this is very much aimed towards electronics, people taking things apart and that. And again, it's got a lovely unbox experience. Got some instructions here. We've got some bits and bobs here. Let's get all this out. So, the instructions, a USB charge cable, an anti-static wristband. Wowzers. And if you look here, you'll notice, if you're thinking, well, what's this for? There's a USB-C charge port there. If we open this guy up, this is what we've got. This basically tells us what heads we've got in there and stuff. Here we've got a little magnetic thing for putting your stuff on, and here's all the bits you get with it. A lot of bits. We've got a bunch of spudges. I think that's the right name. Have you ever tried to get into something and it's sort of sealed with little clips, and if you put a screwdriver in it, you'll damage it? These little plastic things are exactly for getting under there. Things like phones and bits and pieces like that. And in fact, that's kind of what this is. This suction cup is for getting on something that's again sealed like that and pulling off. My old Mac, the iMacs, used to have a screen that was just magnetically attached, and you needed to use something like this to pull the screen off. We've also got some pretty cool tweezers here. This is another type of little prying tool. It's not sharp so much. More spudges, more of these things getting in places, brilliant stuff. And this is the actual screwdriver itself. And basically you've got a forward and reverse. As soon as you do that, you get this little LED comes on, and you've got 2 speeds for it as well. There's no charge port on this because of course it connects electronically to that bit, and then when you plug it in it all charges, and basically it just goes in like that. We've also got down here, which you probably can't see so well because it's sort of black on black. Put your screw bit there, it magnetises. Put your screw bit there, it demagnetises. Very, very useful indeed. This is just a super set. So yeah, that's what is in all the boxes. Now let's actually try these things out in action and see what happens. So here's the charge indicator on the drill. It just stops at the 4 lights that says it's full. On the screwdriver kit, it's not obvious until you open the case, and then you'll see the screwdriver itself does a little sort of pulsing thing to indicate it's being charged. Charge complete, we get this sort of bluey light come on. The compressed air blower kind of pulses, and this one turns a sort of blue colour as well. Must just point out a very nice function. I thought this was just a bag, but it's actually got this separate section
that the air blower goes in, and then all the tools can sort of go loose and bang around a bit, which is pretty cool. You've actually got 2 speeds on that. Long press turns it on, and then a little click flicks between less powerful and more powerful, and then long press turns it off again. I will mention that because I will now press it, so you won't hear my voice, but you should hear the difference in revs. Anyway, let's see what I can blow out of my printer. Well, I've managed to gather them up there in the corner, which makes them a bit easier to get, I suppose. The other thing I was thinking, this is very much a me thing, dusting things that you don't want to use a duster on. And perhaps the most useful aspect of it for those of us that fly quads and things, when you crash in wet grass, the grass dries, it goes latches on. Get one of these air blowers in, blow all that grass out. Really good for that. Now, should you do any vacuuming, obviously there's no bag where it will go, so generally it's going to go through and out the other side. However, if you look at this, it does tell you to clean the inner wall after dusting. How do you do that? And this is coming up as well too. There's a HEPA filter in this which can be changed if need be. So what we can do, we can go around, make sure that's all clean. We can have a look here. If you see there's another little direction to unlock it, where we turn it again. This is the HEPA filter, which can apparently be replaced. So we can check there's no debris in there, we can check there's no obvious bits in there, and then we can just put it back together. So let's go ahead and take something apart. You'll see on this that we've got a range of screw heads. It's not totally like, you know, everything in the world here. They are on the smaller size because they're sort of look like they're designed to take small electronics apart. As far as drones go, we've got something useful. We've got up to a hex 2.0 and there's a 1.5 down here. So that sort of thing would be for taking apart your quads. This is an awkward angle. That's not sticking, so let's see if we can't just magnetize this. Well, it's kind of sticky. I just want to try the demagnetize while we're there. Seems to work, doesn't it? Remagnetize it. All good. Okay. So what this isn't is really heavy duty. So if you've got something that takes a lot of strength to get out, you might need to give it some manual turns first. But again, with small electronics, I mean that one's a bit tighter there. Give it a bit of a half turn and then go. So it doesn't have like the torque to take out very, very tight in big screws. That's why it's sort of suited more to these sort of electronics. It wants to come, but it's just kind of stuck. There we go. It's fighting the, and again this one's a little bit tight, so I just give it a twist and then it'll go. we're in. What a mess. I do need to rebuild this one, so I'd say I'd leave it off, but I kind of need to just make sure it works in the other direction okay. Again, tightening, you might want to give it one extra, like half turn, once you've got it. This is my old Free Sky Tyrannus X-Lite, and if you think it's looking a bit shiny, it's because it just came out of the case all sticky, and I've just been isopropyl alcoholing, just trying to get the sticky off, and now it's shiny plastic. I think this was all a case of having to separate the two things. I don't think there's any screws. The two screws at the end here are actually for setting the tension on the sticks. I don't think there were any others for disassembling, so I thought I'd try and use the spludges, see what we get. Always tricky to know how to start with these things, but I feel it's in there and we've got some separation. And while we've got that separation, we can put one of these bad boys in there. At the same time, we can hopefully find the bit that opens this bit up, like so. Okay, we're getting there. It's a bit of trial and error. And finally we got in, mostly using this one to create that initial gap and getting these ones under. These ones less so, they go into the prying thing, but it was kind of a little bit more difficult, but very handy to have these sort of things. And it turned out that I did need to take the screws out as well, so these ones that are here have sort of affected the springiness of the sticks. At the moment they're both centered, but yeah, that's good. I've got a problem with this one that I didn't fix yonks ago with the USB port, and something failed, so I might have a look at it, see if I can fix it, but this is a pretty old and not so useful radio anymore, so I'm not too bothered. But this is not so much about the radio, it's about this kit. So what I liked about this, as I said, very much towards electronics, these longer screw heads are very, very handy. You often get the point where you have to get a screwdriver in a certain way before you can do anything with it. So when you've got things like these, you can get right inside these little screw holes and get stuff out. And obviously the spludge is good, and the fact we can magnetize, demagnetize that. Very nice set, really like it. This is going to be my go-to screwdriver set for working at stuff on the desk here now. And obviously, if you take out the screws you took, they stay on very nicely. Very useful. This is my garage. It's full of everything possible except for cars. It's just junk on its way out to the bin or recycling centre, and things we use once a year, like the Christmas tree box. Anyway, got some wood. Let's drill some stuff and screw some stuff and hit it with a hammer. Oh, hello. Now it off. More. Okay, pilot hole. More torque. Try bringing it back out. Okay, we have a nail, we have hammer. Nail goes in there. Let's see if we can just bash it in.
perfect. So what's this for? You put it on the end of the hammer, it protects the wood. Now you see we managed to stall that a couple of times. It's not something that I haven't had with my regular drill before. Basically, it gets to the fact that it gets so tight it slips around, and often it's the case you need to pull it out because the wood's not ejecting and stuff. But it does say this isn't for super heavy duty materials like concrete or steel. You can't drill through that. General sort of bricks, plasterboard for hanging stuff up, wood and that sort of stuff is where this will go well. So yeah, overall I like what we're seeing here. Yeah, stuff like the toolkit and the drill is pretty useful to have just generally around the house. I think at some point we'll all need to do something like that. My personal favourite, of course, is this beautiful electric screwdriver kit. Already getting a lot of use out of that. I just had to take something apart last night and it was getting out quickly. Really like that. The design is beautiful. The extra little spludges for getting stuff apart and things, just like the magnetic pad for sticking your screws on and that. Really nice. But I certainly don't write off the little air blower. While I was downstairs in the garage making a right mess with the drill, I thought, oh, what am I going to do with all that stuff? I can just blow it out of the way and out of the box it went in and stuff with this guy. Again, for cleaning my 3D printer, really good. And I can't tell you how much time I've spent. I have a stack of old toothbrushes, and what I would normally do is grab myself my quad when it went down in the grass after it dried and go around scrubbing all little bits of it, trying to get the stuff off. Having it where I can just blow it out with this thing sounds a lot better. Anyway, these were all kindly supplied to HoTo Tools. Many thanks to them. Love the design, love the functionality, and of course there'll be links down below if you want to check them out in more detail. May I suggest for the FPV/electronics tinkerer in your life, nice Christmas present. Anyway, hope that's been helpful. I will catch you next one. Bye for now.
Well, you've made it to the end of the video, so thanks once again for watching. If you like what you saw, then please consider subscribing, and if you really like what you saw, then be sure to check out the link to my blog for a variety of ways in which you can help support this channel.